Hello and welcome to Some Dude Shed. Today is a sad day because we are not in a shed. We're recording this remotely from home due to sad circumstances outside of our control. Sadly, my horse has had a heart attack and I am unable to ride out to the shed. Anyway, on with the news.
Bong.
In Leeds, man storms out of theatre production of Rent as he didn't realise it was that gay. Bong.
Bong. Theatre forced to stop the Batman screening after actual bat gets into the cinema.
Bong.
Florida man arrested after stealing a crossbow by stuffing it down his trousers.
Okay. And the headlines.
Well, Mr. Gray, do you want to enlighten us about this homophobe?
Well, put simply, right, if I can just sum up the story very quickly.
I am assuming he's afraid of his home.
Well, yeah, he must be. He stormed out of a theatre production in Leeds of the musical Rent because he didn't realise the show was about gays. Quite frankly, I think it's a bit strange that a man would storm out of a musical play complaining that it's too gay. Just, what were you expecting, really?
Yeah.
Mr. Red, I don't know if there's a little note for you for the future, but I did share a poster for the play of Rent.
Yes.
You just have to wonder if you saw that poster going in and you didn't expect something a bit gay. You really need to, you really need to rethink yourself.
Did he say what he was expecting? Or?
No, he didn't say what he was expecting. What happened was he basically he stormed out. He just got off his chair and off he went. He made a passing comment to the man at the door, basically just saying, "I didn't realize this was for gays. I didn't realize it was about gays," and that's basically it.
I didn't realize it was about. Oh, so it's because it was about gays, not because there's gay people in it.
Oh no, I mean, goodness, you couldn't avoid that in musical theatre. But yeah, it's left the cast, the creatives, and the backstage crew utterly disgusted, according to Leeds.
Do you think he walked out of Brokeback Mountain? The film.
I can't imagine he went there in the first place. I mean, that was quite well publicised.
I don't think he would have walked because it's not a musical.
Judge it by the poster, Brokeback Mountain. You just see, big manly Jake Gyllenhaal there with his cowboy hat. You're expecting something about rounding up cows or something, but obviously not. So, to give a little background, the musical tells the story of an impoverished young artist struggling to survive and created life at the end of the millennium under the shadow of HIV. So there you go. It's a musical about AIDS.
Team America.
Yeah, basically. I mean, that's all I'm thinking at this point. It's and I've seen some pictures of the set design. It's pretty much the same as that AIDS thing in Team America. That's all I'm thinking of now.
I don't mean this in a very insensitive way, but does anyone actually care about AIDS anymore?
It's very 1980s.
Yeah, like it's not like the.
Yeah, people stopped caring about the Spanish flu in the 40s. It's not the modern disease.
I think a lot of that was mainly spurred on as well by like the AIDS panic. If you remember that, like there was like a big, massive AIDS. Like there were people freaking out, thinking if you swam in a swimming pool with somebody with AIDS, you'd probably catch it. Things like that. Even being in the same room, or if they just touched you brushed against them, they would catch it.
Well, that's the thing about new diseases. When people don't understand them, they create a lot of panic.
Well, we've seen recently how quickly people can, just forget about a disease. 3 weeks ago, a war started, and haven't heard about the other thing since.
I don't know. For me, it was Burger King reducing their chicken nuggets.
Travesty, like
that
absolute travesty.
That hit us all at home,
Do you remember the whole pools closed thing?
Oh, that was about an online game, wasn't it?
Well, it started off in Habbo Hotel.
Yeah.
Back in the day. But then it translated to real life, so people were putting like posters up outside swimming pools with like the guy with the afro says pools closed, and they were filming up like these swimming pools saying like I've got AIDS and I cut my leg and blood got into the water. Can we clear the pool, please? And it started like generating news headlines.
Yeah. I suppose to put a kind of a positive thing on about this, the company that put on the play has said that they're going to donate a small percentage of the box office to an alphabet charity that will be decided by the cast. So there you go. They'll be helping AIDS, I guess.
They'll be helping fund the administration for the charity.
Yes.
Like as I mentioned it before, maybe not when during this recording, but as I mentioned before, I kind of have like a really deep disdain for musicals, and that they're just really overly
What's your
cringe.
place to say something else? There?
No.
I have a deep disdain. Absolutely hate. Can't stand. They're absolutely disgusting musicals.
Absolutely
Ugh.
repulsed by musicals. No. I was going to
Okay,
say that.
go
Oh
on,
yeah,
what's-
just because they're overly corny and cheesy. But there's only a couple of musicals I've seen that I could maybe tolerate, and they do tend to be like rock and roll ones. So there's one that's called Rock of Ages, which is like it actually has like as far as I'm aware, it has like one original song in it, but the rest of them are just like sort of songs that already exist. So it has like Bon Jovi in it, and it's got like
Tom Cruise not in the film version of it.
Tom Cruise is in the film, yes, and he plays like you know that guy from what do you call it? That guy from Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose type character,
All
All
right.
right.
and just like really overly sort of like just larger than life,
Wanker.
all that stuff. But yeah, like that film was all right. But then I saw another musical live in London, and it was called We Will Rock You. It was literally a musical done by Queen. The story of it's pants, but it's got like Queen music in it, and it's pretty good.
Well, I'd say I've kind of come to the realization that not all musicals are terrible. I'd say probably the one that ends in the news story that looks pretty cringe. But I can enjoy the odd Disney princess movie. You know, I quite like a musical in that regard. But yeah,
That's
I
kind
have
of
seen.
like sorry.
I've seen the Green Day American Idiot musical. That's quite good. Got an alright
Sure.
story on it. It's more or less that entire album. A few
Really?
other songs. Yeah, a few other songs out of 21st Century Breakdown, I think, are on it. But yeah, no, it was quite good.
Is I actually I don't know if this counts as a musical, but I was telling Mr. Red about it the other week. It's Metallica have a film out called Through the Never, and it's not like a documentary. It's basically like a film that takes place alongside a concert. So like you're pretty much Metallica on stage, right? Like what you see is Metallica on stage. I haven't actually seen the film. I've just seen like trailers and clips, but they're playing like songs on stage, and in between songs it kind of like during songs and in between songs, it cuts to like this kid who's like running through the city, and there's like riots and stuff going on, and he's like, I think he's trying to save the city from like a fucking nuclear bomb or something, or he's maybe trying to save like Metallica concert. But basically, that's the way the premise. Like he's just run through the city, like fighting people and like running away and all this stuff with Metallica, cutting to Metallica playing live. And I don't know if that counts as musical or not, and I still haven't seen it. I really do want to see it.
Sounds kind of like a concert just interspersed with a little bit of drama.
Yeah, it's like okay, so let's just have like a concert, but
Sounds like Skid
interspersed
Row.
with it's really hard to describe it. There's like clips, loads of clips of it on YouTube. It's really bizarre, but I really want to see it. Anyway,
Moving on.
Moving on.
moving on.
Different type of theatre, I guess.
Yep. Theater forced to stop the Batman screening after actual Bat gets into the cinema.
That's quite incredible.
That's pretty. That's dedication there.
How
think the
did
bad player think the bad player around the screen saying I'm Batman or I am vengeance in that deep voice.
I am vengeance. Well, it says here, U.S. cinema was forced to temporarily stop screening of The Batman after a real bat somehow made its way inside the theater and started flying around. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's not an uncommon occurrence for a bat just to get into somewhere, but I have a slight feeling maybe somebody brought it in. It's too much of a convenience for it to just swoop in during the Batman film.
Well, it's not as bad as that guy came in during that other Batman film.
Oh Jesus, let's not go there. Let's not. But yeah, no. Thankfully, nobody got injured. Nobody got bit by the bat either. Well, as far as I know. But there's like a video there on Twitter. Jeremiah24. He just films. He's like, "Yo, dude, there's a bat in the screen of Batman," and you just see the bat flapping about the place, and people are squealing and stuff. I feel bad for the bat because like their hearing is like super sensitive.
That's
So
a
like
fair
if
point.
a bunch of people are sort of squealing and getting onto that, that's almost like a fucking like a bomb going off in his ears probably. And there's a second video of like a woman attempting to sort of coerce the bat out. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. Like it was quite. I mean,
I hope they managed to get it outside, get it back to its natural home. Assume they did.
some users pointed out similarities to a scene from the sitcom Schitt's Creek, in which a character released live crows at the premiere for the fictional film The Crows Have Eyes 3, The Crowing.
Is that actually the name of the sitcom? Shit Creek.
It's spelled SCHITT, Schitt's Creek. But yeah, nice. It's hard. I mean, I'll be honest. It's hard to find like funny, good news stories recently because of all the crap that's been going on.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
all the focus on Eastern Europe has kind of taken the fun away from journalism.
Yeah, but never fear. I believe Mr. Red has another
Oh, Mr. Red.
uplifting news story.
Well, whenever you're like, well, it's been a dry few weeks for funny news stories. You can always rely on a Florida man to do something hilarious.
This is another superhero story then.
Yes, of that great hero, Florida man.
Florida
He has
man.
returned. He has returned.
What's his antic? What's he up to today?
Well, these days he's been caught on camera trying to steal a crossbow by shoving it down his trousers. So, a suspect has been arrested for allegedly stealing a crossbow by stuffing it down his trousers in Florida. Darren Durant was shown on CCTV at the True Value store on the 2nd of February. The 46-year-old can be seen walking into the shop with a crutch before taking a pair of cutting tools and removing the security tag on a Raven Rio crossbow. He can then be seen shoving the weapon down the front of his trousers before walking out. Amazingly, he made it out of the shop, but was arrested a few days later in the car park of a nearby store. An arrest warrant has been issued by Bavaria County for Darren Durant, who is currently in custody on unrelated burglary charges.
Is it
And
just-
there's a video there of him like just walking with a crutch, puts the crutch down, and just shoves the crossbow down his trousers.
It's not like it's a small crossbow. It's huge.
Yes, it's quite.
It's
Quite
really
sizable.
big. I'd say it's probably as long as a rifle, probably.
Surprised you could fit it down there with those massive balls.
Well, hopefully it wasn't loaded. Goodness, can you imagine it going off accidentally? Like
And
the string going like shooting down like that. Ow.
It would be like a guillotine for your balls.
Yeah. So what? I wonder what he was planning to do with the crossbow. Because if he's in America, a crossbow is a bit of a, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, really.
Yeah, if I was going to go commit a crime with it in America, I just wouldn't. I pick something with gunpowder in it.
Yeah.
Can you get self-loading magazine-fed crossbows? Is that a thing?
I think the best you can do is like a big lever on the bottom. So you shoot one, and then you pull a massive lever backwards and forwards, and then that loads the crossbow for the next shot.
Yeah.
Is there not that German fella on YouTube who made a self-loading crossbow and it's powered by like a drill?
Yes. Yes, I think I saw that. The drill just winds up the cord again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you also need a separate mechanism to like load in the arrows. So.
I think the arrows were just gravity fed.
Oh, were they?
I think so.
Also, like one of those Chinese crossbow things.
Yeah. I don't know. Leave it to the Florida man to keep us entertained anyway.
That's always good.
Yep. We salute you, Florida man.
I just want to before we finish today, our news feed is a little bit low on butt related stories. So there was a news story about a man who was found by doctors with a chicken stuffed up into his rectum. But
oh yes.
But sadly, this was found to be fake news. This was not real, I'm afraid. So
did they just watch me, myself, and Irene?
I think they just thought of our podcast and just decided, you know what, let's mess with them. Let's give them a silly story about a man shoving a chicken up his ass.
So it's a direct attack on this podcast by supplying us with fake news.
I think so.
Fake news propaganda of men with chickens up their asses.
And on that sad note, I guess it's time to end the news.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Bye bye.